You are having black people in your house every week, sometimes every day, and yet you're still alive. Africa for the Africans, Asia for the Asians, white countries for everyone. And everyone is like, which essay? Okay, they dragged him for filth. So let's talk facts, let's talk numbers, let's talk specifics.
Singicabange kahle baby ngihamba nawe ngikhetha wena kuphela ngifuna abanye wena kumele ungisalele izingane uthando la ngempela ngeliqhabuka ngawe.
Hello, ni hao, and hey, it's your girl Busi here, and today we're going to be discussing Tyrese Gibson. Yes, Mr. Tyrese Gibson and his infamous Instagram post. Basically, we're going to be discussing the fact that he lives in an alternate reality, his arrogance, his blatant disregard for the truth, and basically his apology. So, if you would like to hear more about white genocide in South Africa, reverse racism, or any of those things that exist in Tyrese's mind, then stay tuned. But before we get into it, I'd just like to remind you to subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and leave a comment down below on what you think about this issue. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you did not see the post that Tyrese made before he deleted it, I will put it up here now. The caption is "The Flip!" Extra long ellipsis. Get to YouTube. This is what's going on in South Africa. Another extra long ellipsis. I know I haven't been to South Africa I haven't been home since March, but I doubt that this is now what's happening in South Africa because these are works of art. We tracked down the source of these pictures or this artwork, and it's from 2017, okay? And they were featured in O magazine, that's like Oprah's magazine. And this is a CNN article about it, and it goes: a girl stands in front of shelves full of dolls in a store, but none of them look like her. She's white. The dolls are black. This striking image is a part of a series of photos called "Let's Talk About Race" in the May issue of O magazine. The photos together serve as commentary on race in American society. The series includes 2 other photos, 3 out of the 4 pictures. So I think 3 out of the 4 pictures that he used were from O magazine. It basically throws racial stereotypes on its head, right? Because this is not the real world. The real world is the complete opposite, everywhere. Because the system of white supremacy is pervasive everywhere, even in countries where the majority is black. Look at the entire African continent. All but 2 countries were colonized. All but 2. So now let's talk about white genocide in particular. So white genocide is like this thing that exists in the imaginations of white supremacists. I first heard about the White Genocide Project in 2015. Yes, in 2015. And I was so confused because like the video that I saw, like these white women and they're dressed in white and they're like, Africa for the Africans, Asia for the Asians, white countries for everyone. And it's like this ridiculous thing of this idea that black people or people of color in general are trying to wipe out the white race. In South Africa, only 8% of the population is white, okay? 8%. So the rest of the people fall under, people of color category. And so most white people in South Africa have a domestic worker working in the house. They have a gardener working, the garden. These are black people most of the time. So now you are having black people in your house every week, sometimes every day, and yet you're still alive. Do you understand how many people of color there are in this world? How many people of color have been colonized or subjugated by Europeans throughout the history? If we wanted to, so if there was a project to try and exterminate white people, surely we're doing a bad job. Surely. Listen, my foster parents are white, and when I told them about this white genocide thing, they were like, what's white genocide? And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for not knowing what it is. And it's because they don't have Facebook, so I guess they don't see all of this stuff. And most of the time when you see pictures going around of a bloodied white child, and it's like, white genocide, stop it now, or like they're raping us, or all of this like extreme stuff, the pictures usually have nothing to do with South Africa or nothing to do with anything, essentially. It's crazy. A few really good white South Africans started a page on Facebook called Busting the Myth of White Genocide in SA. It's a really good page, and I would just like to read out their mission statement because I think it's really important. Busting the Myth of White Genocide in SA. Welcome to our page. Please read our messages and guidelines first. Number 1. Who are we and what do we stand for? We're a group of activists from across South Africa. Our aim is to provide a platform for sharing credible and accurate, credible, that's key because everything else, So credible and accurate facts and statistics regarding what some would have you believe is a scourge of black on white crime in rural South Africa. So most of this white genocide fear or propaganda comes from the fact that there have been farm attacks. So you have people robbing farmers because farmers live in isolated places where their nearest neighbors are not so near, where the police are not so near. It would seem as though farmers would be, some of the easiest targets when it comes to robbing people. But if you look at the stats to see what portion of the pie farm attacks are in terms of general crime in South Africa, you'd see that it's a very, very small little fraction. White people are disproportionately not affected by crime. We have to counter the onslaught of extreme right-wing propaganda and conspiracy theories, flooding the internet and social media. We are here to arm you with facts. So they're bringing the facts. What are we not saying? We're not saying that farmers and farm workers in South Africa do not die from violent crimes, okay? We are aware that it is a reality. We are not here to erase trauma and tragedy, nor use these to promote any kind of agenda, okay? Because I think what some people do is that some people totally deny that farm attacks happen, and this is probably what drives this even further, because they're like, yeah, they're trying to cover it up and blah blah blah, and it's like, ugh. Do farm murders happen? Yes. Do farm attacks happen? Yes. Do they happen because these people are white? No. It's because of crime. South Africa is a violent country, and the people that suffer the most are black women. Black women and children. Yes. That is a real genocide happening in South Africa, okay? Also, something that these white genocide conspiracy theorists always seem to leave out is the fact that when these farm attacks happen, the farm workers get attacked and killed too. And 99% of the time, those people are black. So yes, this is not an attack on white farmers. This is an attack on farms, okay? Farms. So let's talk facts, let's talk numbers, let's talk specifics, okay? So the unemployment rate in South Africa in 2019, so before Ms. Coco V came through, was 38.5%, right? Now, let's break it down in terms of race. So, 46% of black African people are unemployed. only 9.8% of white people are unemployed. Yet, we got slaves. Only 23% of the shares traded on the JSC, the Joburg Stock Exchange, are owned directly or indirectly by Black South Africans. Only 23%. White people are only 8% of our population. Keep that in mind, okay? Now let's go back 26 years to when I was born, okay? In 1994, more than 80% of the land was in the hands of the white minority. And white-owned farms accounted for 70% of the total area of the country. Ooh. Land reform programs in South Africa have been really slow. So less than 10% of the total land has been redistributed from white to black ownership since 1994. Just facts. Let's also talk about generational wealth, okay? Because in 1994, there was no reset button, okay? It wasn't like, alright, guys, racism is over, so let's just give everything back and like, you know, no, sweetie, no, Tyrese, baby boy, no. What happened was, those that had got to keep having, okay? Wealth was retained, wealth was passed down, generational wealth, okay? From Jan van Riebeck all the way down, guys, okay? So, I mean, I'm not even explaining this to Black South Africans because we know, okay? We know. This is for people outside who for some reason don't know, and for some reason get all of their news from right-wing propaganda. So I'm just here to try counter that. On Tyrese's post, our celebs actually came through for once. Okay, they dragged him for filth. Wonang was there, I don't know who else was there, but I just saw at some point there were just SA flags underneath his post. When people were dragging Tyrese, instead of him apologizing and removing the post, he doubled down. He was just like, I've been to SA more than 10 times, this is what I saw. And everyone was like, which essay? Because Ngempela, like, I'm even trying to understand where he went, because nowhere. I have never seen a place where the white people are doing menial tasks and the black people are like in charge of things. Because not even in our parliament, where we do have the black people, you know, in power. And then after that, so eventually he removed the post. I thought Instagram removed the post because everyone and their mom were reporting the post. So he claims that he's the one that removed the post, and then he issued an apology on Instagram. There's like this video where he's like talking, but he's like not really saying anything, and then like, and I just don't understand. He's like, I'm used to controversy, I don't shy away from controversy, like, ugh, just stop. And I actually saw someone else's video on this topic, and they spoke about how he's just released an album. So Tyrese used South Africa, or this issue, to cause controversy to promote his album. And like, wow, Tyrese, wow. We're not gonna listen to your music. You know what, I can't even say he's cancelled because Tyrese has never even been in my radar. I don't watch the Fast and Furious. I don't know anything else he's been in. I don't know a single one of his songs. So it's not like I was giving him any of my money anyway. So it's not like now I'm gonna stop. But what I am gonna do is that I'm gonna drag you. I'm gonna drag you, Tyrese, because thanks to this whole Tyrese mess, I got a lot of new subscribers, so hey, I'm really excited that a lot of South Africans are interested in these types of videos and current affairs, because I wasn't coming for the beauty community, just NB, I was not coming for the beauty community. All I was saying was that South Africa's YouTube content is basically oversaturated with beauty influencers, and that's what people like to watch, I suppose. And I'm not telling people what to do with their data or, you know, with their Wi-Fi, but I'm just saying that if we only focus on entertainment, then we're letting other people control the narrative. And right now, the white genocidists are winning on YouTube, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for everyone who subscribed, and I will give you guys more content soon. So anyway, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. Don't be a Popeye, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!